Jones, it is beautiful life to be alive. Hello, my beautiful main event YouTube baseball fans. I hope you are all having a magical and a lovely Tuesday and Hope Day Eve as well. By the way, guys, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday, and Hope Day indeed, guys, because I have a feeling you guys are really going to enjoy tonight's episode. As you guys may or may not know, 7 days from tonight, exactly 1 week, we will have opening day for 2026 Pioneer League Baseball. And I'm not the only one excited about it. We have a whole lot of people excited about it as well. But unfortunately, here's the bad news. The bad news is 1 week from tonight, there is a rivalry happening at Hawks Memorial Stadium in Boise, Idaho. And in this episode, we are going to talk about that rivalry in just a little bit. And a matter of fact, guys, in tonight's episode, we are going to take a look at the baseball history between the Ogden Raptors and the Boise Hawks. Alright, guys, so a little bit about the baseball history between the Boise Hawks and the Ogden Raptors. Now prior to 2020, the Boise Hawks and the Ogden Raptors never met one-on-one. The Ogden Raptors were in the Pioneer League. They were the rookie affiliate of the defending World Series champions, the LA Dodgers. Lowever, back in 2019, the Boise Hawks were not even in the Pioneer League. They were in the Northwest League, which was a low-A league at that time. Hawks weren't affiliated with the Colorado Rockies. Well, after 2021 to be particular, the Boise Hawks and the Ogden Raptors made team history. For the first time in their franchise history, they would meet one-on-one in the Pioneer League. Now, what's really interesting is last year, the Boise Hawks and the Ogden Raptors met 2 times. 1 6-game series here at Hawks Memorial Stadium, 1 6-game series at Lindquist Field in Ogden, Utah. And I will be very honest with you, it was actually, I was wrong. It was 3 times these 2 teams met, twice in Ogden, 1 in Boise. And every time, all 3 times we met, there was one thing that kept going on. Other than seeing home runs, challenges, maybe a home run derby, there was always a benches clear incident. It happened in Boise. It happened both times in Ogden. Unfortunately, counting all 3 times that we had benches cleared in the 3 series, there were 2 suspensions handed out. Surprisingly, both suspensions handed out were to the exact same individual, and it was Boise Hawks pitching coach Brian Clopey. He was ejected in Game 6 of the series at Hawks Memorial Stadium in the 7th inning for arguing balls and strikes. But what was really interesting about Game 6 of that series here at Hawks Memorial Stadium is the Ogden dugout and the Hawks dugout started chirping at each other in the 4th inning, and it would continue to the remaining of the game. Now, the only ejection in that game was in the 7th inning to Boise Hawks pitching coach Brian Clopey, and he was not chirping. He got ejected for arguing balls and strikes, something you cannot do in softball or baseball. And got tossed for that. Now, we fast forward to about a month later. The Hawks go to Ogden for the very first time. It's July. It's a beautiful night in Ogden for a 6-game series. And we saw this happen again. Ogden, Boise, chimping at one another. The game actually, in that series, the benches cleared 4 times. 4 times out of the 6-game series. So now we are already at 5 times that we have had a benches cleared incident. Now remember, this is all last year. Now the final series in Ogden between these 2 clubs, it was not peaceful at all. It was bickering every single game, back and forth, yabba, 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 bippity, boppity, boo. But the crazy thing about it, guys, is that out of the 3 meetings between these 2 teams in the 2025 Pioneer League regular season, these 2 had benches clearing, bickering more than possibly any other Pioneer League game I have ever witnessed. It doesn't mean that these 2 teams don't like each other. It just means that last year, emotions got in the way. And unfortunately, guys, Ogden would beat us. They would take a 6-game series in Ogden both times. They did not take the 6-game series at Hawks Memorial Stadium. But Ogden and Boise, all that was last year. And to be very honest with you, the Ogden Raptors roster at the moment is 40% different than it was last year. So you got players on the Ogden Raptors this year that were playing in AA ball last year. You got one Ogden Raptor that was in AAA ball last year, and you have a whole lot of new Ogden Raptors who were not even in independent ball last year. They were playing college ball. Now, I will say the one thing I will tip my hat to the Ogden Raptors is Ogden Raptors manager Evan Parker. He is entering his 4th year with the Raptors this year, 3rd year as their manager. And last year, he definitely made a lot of changes. He managed differently last year than he did the year before. But the one thing is that Evan Parker is the youngest manager in the Pioneer League, and not by a lot. All right, but he got a really big award last year. In his 2nd year of managing, he became he had the most wins as a manager in 2 seasons as a Raptors manager in history. Now think about that for a minute, okay? 2nd year managing the team, and he wins this award of being the winningest manager in the history of the Ogden Raptors, and that was only in 2 seasons managing the team. The Ogden Raptors would finish the second half of the Pioneer League season with a winning percentage of over a 580. They became the highest winningest team in the second half. The first half of the Pioneer League season last year did not go in favor of the Raptors. They were in the bottom of the leagues in almost every category. They were not stealing bases. And a matter of fact, guys, they only had a 15% success rate of stolen bases. But they changed one thing in the second half, and that was their pitching. And that was how they were able to go to the postseason. Unfortunately, Ogden would lose in the first round of the playoffs to the Oakland Ballers, who would end up going on to win the Pioneer League championship. Now again, Rocky. Now again, all this is last year. Okay, 1 week from tonight, it's a new season, it's a new beginning, and you know what? Hopefully we don't have some bickering and barking at one another, because no baseball fan wants to see that, be honest, right? So you know what, guys? You guys are in for a treat. We have Evan Parker taking on Sean Persky 1 week from tonight, 7:05 Mountain Daylight Time. It will be game 1 of a 12-game homestand for the Boise Hawks, but it will also be game 1 of a 6-game series. You guys can get your tickets a number of ways. You could go to the Hawks front office at Hawks Memorial Stadium. You could call 208-322-5000. The third way is you could go to PioneerLeagueBaseball.com. You would go to the Pioneer League website. You would go to the teams. You would click either Ogden or Boise, and you could get your tickets that way. Or you could go to BoiseHawks.com and get them. Those are the 4 and only 4 ways you guys can get tickets. And the giveaway 1 week from tonight will be a 2026 Boise Hawks magnet schedule. And remember, if you can't make it out to the 6-game series against one of our 2 rivals, the Ogden Raptors, then you're in luck, because after that 6-game series is over, the Boise Hawks will welcome one of the newest teams in the league, the Modesto Glow Riders, and their manager, JT Snow, a former MLB World Series champion. JT Snow and the Modesto Glow Riders from Modesto, California. But I will say, if you cannot make it to either of those 12 games, then you can this Sunday. This Sunday, the Boise Hawks were scheduled to take on the Missoula Paddleheads in a 7-inning exhibition game. And in just a little bit, I will explain everything on that and how it has changed in a very, very nasty way. Okay, like I said, guys, we are 5 days out from 2026 Boise Hawks exhibition Pioneer League Baseball, and I want to bring your attention to this Sunday. This Sunday, we will be taking on nobody. It will be a inner squad game. What that means is, instead of the Missoula Paddleheads taking on the Boise Hawks in a 1-game exhibition series, it will be a inner squad game. So it will be basically Squad A takes on Squad B from Hawks Memorial Stadium. Can't really explain why this exhibition game got canceled. I can tell you, a lot of people are very disappointed in it, and I mean, I'm not the only one. There's a whole lot of other people that are highly disappointed in it as well, and I have to apologize in advance, guys. You know, it's just something I tried to do, but yeah. Okay, so basically, guys, this Sunday, I like this camera view way better, so I'm going to use it, even though I'm in the laundry room. But as of right now, guys, for this Sunday, for the scrimmage game, it is expected to go the minimum of 10 innings, the maximum of 15 innings. The reason we are doing this, the minimum of 10 to the maximum of 15, is simply because there are going to be at least 4 to 5 pitchers on each squad that are going to be throwing 40 pitches or more. And so to make that possible, we're going to have at least a minimum of 10 innings, the maximum of 15. I know it sounds like dumb and all that, but this is very important for Boise Hawks manager Sean Persky and his coaching staff, because right after the game this Sunday, yes, immediately following the inter-squad scrimmage game this Sunday, guys, Sean Persky and his coaching staff will not be done for the day. They will have to make their official roster for opening day. The opening day roster for the Boise Hawks must be released and finalized to the Pioneer League by Monday. It is not a rule that I make. It is not a rule that Sean Persky makes. It's a rule of the Pioneer League. All 12 teams have to have their official opening day roster by this upcoming Monday. And so the last opportunity for a lot of guys in Boise Hawks spring training camp will be the exhibition game. I can confirm there aren't players in spring training for the Boise Hawks right now who are already guaranteed a spot on the 2026 opening day roster. I am not going to talk about who those individuals aren't, but I am going to say the main reason for a 10-inning to a 15-inning scrimmage inter-squad game is only because of players that not just Persky wants to look at, but others as well. They could be hitters, they could be pitchers, they could be two-way players. Who even knows? But you know what, guys? It'll be a big opportunity for anybody who is new into camp, because it will be a big day for them. It will be their final opportunity to actually make a squad and make the opening day roster. So there is a lot of pressure going into these next couple of days in camp. You got guys who already know they will be on the opening day roster, and then you guys have guys who are fighting for a spot on the 2026 opening day roster, and that's with all 12 teams in the Pioneer League. That's even with the Ogden Raptors, guys. If you ever want to know what is going on in Ogden Raptors spring training camp, you guys can go to Ogden Raptors on Instagram, on Twitter. Definitely go to the Instagram of the Ogden Raptors. They are very updating on their spring training and everything. I believe they have already played 3 inter-squad games at Lindquist Field. They have done a lot of drills. They had a team tryout, but that is something the Ogden Raptors actually do every single year. Earlier this month, for the first time since 2021, we had a team tryout. But most importantly, what I want you guys to know is that there were guys who are battling down in Ogden, who are grinding to make the opening day roster. There are only 4 guys in spring training with the Raptors right now who are returning guys. Everybody else are all new to the Ogden Raptors baseball organization. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. But if you do want to know what is going on in 2026 Ogden Raptors camp, the Ogden Raptors Instagram, they update it daily. They talk about everything with Evan Parker. Even Ogden Raptors manager Evan Parker is being very vocal and expressing everything that is going on in camp down at Lindquist Field in Ogden, Utah. So you guys can always check them out. And you know what, guys? We're 7 days away from them coming here. So be very, very exciting for sure. Again, guys, a little preview of Ogden. Evan Parker, it will be his 4th year on the coaching staff. The past 2 years he has been the manager. So that would be, 2023 was the first year Evan Parker was on the coaching staff. He was the pitching coach at that time, and then in 2024 and last year he led the Ogden Raptors as manager. So he is entering his 3rd year managing the Raptors with his 4th year on the team. You guys have no idea, guys. Even though Ogden is our opponent, Evan Parker, guys, again, the youngest manager in the Pioneer Independent Baseball League. He played for the Ogden Raptors for 1 season as a relief pitcher in the Pioneer Independent Baseball League. And, he is Ogden's, favorite. What they call, this is what they say in Ogden. They say Evan Parker is the son of Ogden, Utah. Believe me, it's actually been put on social media that way. And I definitely believe it. Evan is a very aggressive manager. And what I mean by that is he's very confident in his guys. He believes in his coaching staff, and he defends his guys from point A to point B. Now, he may not get tossed, but he will defend his players, guys, and he knows how to roll a pitching rotation very, very well. So we will have to keep that an eye out in 7 days from tonight at Hawks Memorial Stadium.